Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Delia. So now I'm coming to you with another entrepreneurial video. Today I'll be making keychains. Now I did an unboxing on my last video, so if you didn't go and watch that, I'll link it. If you didn't watch that, I'll link it down below for you to watch. So I suggest you watch that one, then you come back and watch this one. So today I'll be making a couple of keychains, but the one that I'll be doing on camera is the D for Delia. So we're going to need resin and hardener, popsicle sticks for mixing. I'm using glitters today, so I'll be using pink, gold and white. These are my flowers that I'll be putting in there. I think I'm going to use pink and I don't know, we'll see. Alright, and then this is my little scoop for my glitters, and I have a small tweezer, my cup for mixing, I have two of them just in case, and my 2 cups for measuring my resin. The resin has to be measured. The resin has to be measured equally, so equal parts A, equal parts B. And for the camera, I'll be making the letter D for Delia. So if you'd like to see how the outcome of this, continue watching. So first things first, I am pouring my resin, and this particular resin has to be mixed 1-to-1, meaning that it's equal parts of resin, equal parts of water. Then I'm transferring them from that cup. The cup that I pour them in has markers, so I know that they are equal in ratio. So I'm pouring them from that cup to my mixing cup. Ensure that when you pour them into your mixing cup or whatever container you have, you scrape the corners of the cup that you're transferring from, so that you get all of your resin and all of your hardener, to ensure that you maintain the 1-to-1 ratio. Because if it is not 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 or however your resin is supposed to be mixed, then you're going to wait for 24 hours, and then what is going to happen is that the resin is going to harden. It is not going to harden properly, and you're going to end up with one big mess at the end of the day, and we don't want that. We want all our projects to come out, and then you would come out well, and then what will happen as well is that you would have wasted that amount of resin as well, and resin is expensive. Alright, so once you have poured your resin, you're going to mix. Once you've poured the resin and hardener, the cup is going to have some streaks in it. It's not going to be completely clear. Most resins you mix for 4 to 5 minutes, and once you see that it is clear, that simply means that it has been mixed properly. You are not going to mix very fast either, because if you mix too fast, you're going to find that you're going to have a lot of bubbles. If you have a lot of bubbles in your resin, it's going to make it harder for you to control. So the less bubbles you have once you start your pour, to me it's not possible not to have any bubbles at all, but the less bubbles you have once you start pouring your resin, the better for you. It would mean that you'll be using less heat, you'll be heating up the resin less, and it will take less time. If it's not mixed properly, then your project is not going to come out well. It's going to be soft, and we don't want that. You have to wait 24 hours. So can you imagine waiting 24 hours and then your project did not come out correctly? Now I'm just using my pink flowers. I got these flowers off of Amazon. They are real pressed flowers, dried flowers, and I'm just cutting them up because I just want pieces of flowers. I don't want the entire flower in the letter. This is where you get creative. You do what you want to do, or you do what your client wants. So I'm just cutting up the flowers and putting them in, using my tweezer to place them where I want them to be placed, and also putting them, some of them were on the edges, so I am just putting them back into the D. So I'm just making sure that they're how I want them to be, as I said, this is the point where you get creative. You place them wherever and however. Now I'm just using this is my clear glitter, so I'm placing it where I would want them to be placed because I love glitter. Who doesn't love glitter? So now it's time for the resin. So I'm pouring the resin on with my popsicle stick. I'm just slowly putting it in, ensuring that I'm as neat as possible. And remember that I'll be adding other things such as I'll be adding another glitter and more resin to this as well. So I'm just adding a little bit to ensure that the resin and the flowers that I have put in there are mixed together properly, and so that when it is dry I have no flowers sticking out of my project. Everything is within the resin itself. So it's not so the resin takes patience. It's not something that you can rush. You have to be very patient once you are doing your resin, and just take your time, guys. It's not hard to do at all. So I continue to place until I'm happy with what I have, and there it is, my D. So the next step would be to put the other color glitter, but I'm not doing that yet. I'm now using I'm just using a toothpick to ensure that the flowers are where I want them to be, and I'm also using it to make sure that the resin is evenly distributed around the edges. Now I'm using my heat gun to pop the bubbles. So it's very important to use some form of heat, and one of the most effective ways is by using a heat gun. Just make sure that you don't concentrate the heat gun on your mold too long, or it may destroy your mold. You can also use your Q-tip to help your toothpick to help to get rid of some of the hard bubbles, the ones that are very deep in the corners. The toothpick will also help with getting rid of those as well, right? So I'm just zapping it with the heat gun to ensure that all the bubbles are gone, and my project will come out as clear as possible at the end of the 24 hours. Most resin takes 24 hours to completely harden or cure, so you just have to be patient. You just have to wait and just follow the instructions of your resin's manufacturer, and you should be fine. So I decided that I wanted to make another letter, so I'm going to make the letter R. So now I'm pouring the resin into the R. I'm doing it a different way. So this is a different technique. So I'm adding the resin first. So I'm using my toothpick to ensure that the resin is completely covering the bottom of my letter, to ensure that once I put whatever I'm putting in and it is dried, nothing is sticking out, everything gets caught inside of the resin, because you don't want, when you remove your piece from the molds, you have flowers or glitter or whatever you put inside of your resin to be sticking out. Okay, so with this one I am doing an R for Ryan. His brand colors are red, gold and black. So this one is going to be red, gold and black. So I'm going to place some red glitters, gold glitters. What color glitter is that? Black glitter. So I'll be placing the black glitter first in there, because even though he's a man, who doesn't like glitter? And what is a keychain without a little bit of glitter? Now I'm adding some gold glitter. So I added the black glitter. Now I'm adding the gold glitter. This is good. I think this one is going to be just beautiful. It's already looking nice in my opinion. And you guys are not able to see it as well as I am able to see it. So I'm just adding a little bit more resin to that, because I wanted it to have a 3D effect. So that's why I'm doing it in layers. And then on the other one, I've allowed the resin to sit a little while to ensure that all the bubbles are gone, and now I'm putting in more glitter. So I'm just using my pink glitter to put there because I just love pink. So anything I'm making for myself, most naturally is going to be pink. I have completed my D. As you can see, the mold is full, and it is just the way I want it. So now I'm just adding some alcohol ink to this one. I have used black. Now I'm using some white alcohol ink. I've also used red alcohol ink because, as I said, his brand colors are gold, black, and red. So I'm just adding in the white to the R now, and I am liking how it is looking so far. So I went ahead and added a little bit more black to this. I think I added too much black. I did it with too much black. I should have just eased up on the black. So it came out a little bit blacker than I wanted it to, darker than I wanted it to come out, but it was still beautiful, guys. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see how they came out. Guys, it's been 24 hours. Resin takes 24 hours to be cured, depending on your pour. So because these are small, it's 24 hours. So this is the D. This is the D. And this is the R. So the next step is going to be to make the hole for the actual keychain. So using this hand drill, I pick a spot and basically I try to keep it as straight as possible and just twist it until I'm deep enough in there. Okay, that should do it. Then I'm going to take one of these and twist it in with my, try to twist it in my hand, and I'm going to try to twist it in with my hand, but it's not going far enough because maybe I didn't screw it. Alright, so what I would actually need in this case would be a bird bill pliers, which your girl neglected to purchase, so I'm going to have to get one. However, I did do one off camera. This is an N, and I got it in there using my finger, but it's a bit tedious to do, but I did get it in there, right? So the next step would be to attach the actual keyring, but because I don't have the bird bill to open this part to attach the keyring like so, you know, I'm not able to complete it today, but I'm gonna purchase one, but never fear, I'm going to come back with lots more videos like this with lots more designs. But this is what I have. Yeah, these are my three letters, and I'm in love with all three. First, this was my first time making anything resin, and I think they came out pretty good for it to be my first time. Also, they are bubble free. There are no bubbles in there. They are crystal clear. Another thing to consider when you are doing work with resin is you have to make sure that your work is as bubble free as you can possibly get it, and that is dependent on your temperature. The cooler your temperature, the more the more bubbles you will have. So you'll have to try to keep your resin warm, but we'll get into that in another. But these are the letters that I have so far, guys, and they are looking really nice. So guys, this is just the beginning of my resin art journey. So if you'd like to follow me on this journey, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I put out new videos, whether it be resin or anything else that we do on this channel. So guys, until next time, bye.